Call the meeting to order. Any change to the agenda?
No changes.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda as printed? Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries. New business, discussion, consideration, accepting the resignation of Brett Underwood as junior class sponsor effective at the end of the 2015-16 school year contingent upon the civil replacement being hired.
Mr. McDonough and I recommend board approval of this item contingent upon the super replacement being hired. We're pretty sure we'll be able to find someone, but with junior class sponsor, you never know. It's, of the sponsorships, it involves more than any other classes, so.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? As long as the motion is contains the suitable suitable replacement being hired. That's- All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries. Discussion consideration of hiring middle school principal, 7-12 activity directors for the 2016-17 school year.
The members of our interview committee, which included Nate McHaleson, Eric Yelly, Christine Privia, Annette Koenig, Rick Larson, Keith Peterson, Jeff Privia, Matt McDonough, and myself, we recommend board approval of hiring Bo Jacobson for this position. We did interview 6 candidates for the position. We had some good candidates. We interviewed a group of 3 of them at 4 o'clock last Wednesday, and then another group of 3 at 6 p.m. Then the committee talked afterwards for a while and narrowed it down to 3, and then we had another meeting and arrived at consensus on Mr. Jacobson. He's presently 7-12 activities director and K-12 physical education teacher at Charter Oak Youth, and he's had the opportunity to experience a wide range of administrative duties while filling in for their principal when he's out of the school district. He comes to us very highly recommended.
Can I ask you a question?
No, or this is, all right, go ahead.
Respectfully?
No,
I
yeah.
mean, simply what set him apart from the rest of them?
What sets him apart?
Yeah.
I think it was the interview process, the way he answered the questions. He was very direct when he answered. You know, some of the candidates, and this is, I think, this is my own personal opinion, but sometimes people are looking for the right thing to say to please the interviewers.
Sure.
And he answered the question, and he has had a lot of experience too. He's had a lot of head coaching experience and working with a wide range of kids, and his directness and his knowledge. He really took time to find out about stuff about our school district too. Everyone noticed that.
Okay.
And I think we had the 3 groups. You know, we had the teacher coach group, and then we had 2 board members and Annette. We really wanted to have Annette involved because she works so closely with the person. And then the 2 principals and myself. And so I think we had a good combination of perspectives. And the interesting thing was, as we talked about it, everybody really came to the same conclusion. So we felt good about that, because sometimes you'll have one group over here and this person, and one group over here and this person, and so on. But I think when everyone really worked at narrowing it down, they really felt like he had, he did the best job with the interview and the best background. And we did, and on our questions too, we threw in quite a, like, what if scenarios. You know, you have situations, maybe you kind of pattern it after things that have happened either here or in different school districts that are difficult things. And he did a good job, did a good job answering the questions. I don't know, Rick, Keith, am I on target with what you guys observed too?
He point blank answered the question.
Yeah.
He didn't answer the question with dancing around it like most of the interviewers did. There was just a couple of them that went right to the source of the question and answered it.
Good.
It was very impressive.
Yeah.
The reason I said no, Eric, on your question was, I don't want to open up open forum, you know, this is basically, and you understand what I'm saying, we don't want open
It
forum.
says discussion, and there's no discussion, is my only.
Discussion usually comes out of the motion, actually. so.
Yeah, okay, discussion comes off the motion here for us, and that's.
I just didn't wanna not have my chance to say anything.
I understand, but you understand that that's not the way the motion.
He's probably talking about the agenda, we didn't have a public.
We don't have a public presenter in a special meeting. Public presenter would be at a regular meeting and not at a special meeting.
But we're still happy, we like
Probably
to be as informal as we can.
Right.
You know?
That's the reason I said no, but go ahead. I mean, yeah, I don't wanna open it up for open forum, but I want you to go ahead and ask your question. That's what I said. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Not really?
Not really.
Uh,
It's a
what-
public meeting, isn't it?
What Neil's trying to say is that we're trying to follow Robert's rules for meetings, and there's a time in Robert's rules that we have to follow legally
This-
to do
Isn't
that.
this my only chance to ask a question though?
At a
About
public,
this particular hire?
Well, I'll tell you what in the school board association, when they talk about things like this, one thing they talk about is that, at a school board meeting, it's a meeting of the board in the public. And so there are opportunities which we always like to have for public presentation, open forum, and so on. And yet, when there's an action item in which the board members are acting on it, that's not an open forum time. Does that make sense?
Okay.
But still, we wanna, call me up anytime or.
I mean, I think it's a pretty important position.
It is.
That's the
It
main
is.
reason.
It is very important. It is very important.
I think that's the reason that we had a committee
Yeah.
set up and we had representatives we had board members, we had administration, we had teachers, we had everybody.
Yeah, but I didn't know that until I just heard that
Yeah.
just now.
Yeah, I mean, we did a
great.
profile of employees and volunteers.
That's great.
2 board members. Yeah, they're listed here, I don't know, in the, he just listed them or whatever, who the committee was. And I'll read them to you again. Nate McHaleson was teacher, Ellie Gelly, teacher, Christine Private, teacher, Annette Koenig is the secretary, Rick Larson and Keith Peterson, board representative, Jeff Privia, Matt McDonough, and Ed Hawks are the administrators. That's the committee that did the interviewing and they're bringing the recommendation to the board here now. That's what the procedure is right now.
And
Okay?
just an FYI, I asked Eric Weiler, our vocal music director, if he could join us too. And he said, I'd really like to, but we did it on a Wednesday, so that's a time when more people are together, And, but Eric couldn't join us because he does a church choir, and, so couldn't make it. But I wanted to have, male, female, boys sports, girls sports, music, all the different perspectives, so, anyway.
Back to the action item here. We need a motion to hire Bo Jacobson. Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion amongst the board?
Rick, can you kind of tell us how you felt, I guess, about the weight room or whatever? Well, other advantages we'd have for this candidate?
The candidate, that is current school district has physical education, he's outlined and set up all the weightlifting programs for all the sports at Charter Oak, and he's very knowledgeable as a physical education teacher. He's worked with all the coaches at Charter Oak to set up their weight programs and making sure that we're following a protocol, which is very impressive with me, is that we're in the weight room to prevent injuries. We're not in the weight room just to make, build muscle. So he really is on top of what needs to be done.
He's not really a one-sport coach, is he?
No, he's coached baseball, he's coached basketball, he's coached wrestling, he's coached football. He's currently the head coach for Charter Oak football, and I think he's also current golf coach for Charter Oak. So he has a very wide variety of knowledge in the coaching field. And then in his questions, Charter Oak is a small school, so they share principals. One of the principals, I think, or superintendent, I can't remember exactly if it's principal or superintendent. So in that principal or superintendent's gone, he fills in that position. So,
Yeah, so, on a daily basis or weekly, or, I mean,
Does it say these
half a day,
numbers?
or, anyway, you don't wanna know.
I think it's sporadic. you
It's
know.
sporadic, it's
Yeah,
not an every
when there are
day.
meetings or so.
And who do they share with, you know?
I don't recall who said.
Okay, that's fine.
I think they've done some sharing with Maple Valley Anthenoto.
I think it's in his resume.
Yeah,
How many students is Charter Oak? How small are they?
they're probably district-wide, about half our size.
The map doesn't have names, we're trying to figure out which school district.
Yeah. It's up there by,
Northwest of Denison.
Denison,
yeah,
Denison,
Denison,
Schleswig,
Illinois.
up in that neck of the woods.
Anyway. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
One question I had, Ed, when we do hire a position like this, they're usually on a 1 year.
Yeah, that, the first year is the probationary year.
Probationary period.
Right, yeah. Yep.
Any further? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries. Any other business?
No?
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion made, second.